Sherolynn Eppinger takes personal health care very seriously, and she knows what she's talking about. She was the only female wrestler on her team at Warrensville Heights High School and earned a scholarship to wrestle for the University of the Cumberlands. Sherolynn owns 1,000 Pounds Lighter Fitness in the Union Miles neighborhood and works as a personal trainer, friend, mentor, and coach, among other things.
Hello, my name is Sherolynn Eppinger, and I am the owner and operator of 1,000 Pounds Lighter Fitness here in the Union Miles neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio. I am a group fitness instructor, personal trainer, friend, mentor, coach, all of the above. And my mission is for everybody to stay moving and stay motivated. Everyone can benefit from having some type of activity in their life that can help increase whatever stage of life that they have. And so I just really want to spread the knowledge that I've learned in school and from being an athlete, from taking health serious in my life, to show people why they need to work out, even if they may not want to.
And that is a tall order for some people. I include myself in that.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit about the journey that brought you to where you are now?
Well, honestly, my journey started, I would say, just as a student athlete. I love sports. I spent half of my life playing sports. My claim to fame, I was a wrestler, the only wrestler on the team at Warrensville Heights High School here in Cleveland. Got a scholarship. I wrestled at the University of Cumberlands in Williamsburg, Kentucky. And from there, I got a degree in health, exercise, sports science. I just know that being from a neighborhood and a social background and my church, that health has always been an issue. And so I really wanted to just learn so that I can help people in my community, in my church, just in my family, to live better lives outside. Because, you always get people that I need to do this or I should be doing this, but we get caught in our habits and that's just all that we know. And so I just wanted to be the one to teach other people. So after school, came back to Cleveland. I was working a corporate job and I was getting laid off. But before then, I had the desire to create my own fitness dance class like Zumba. Right before I became Zumba certified, it was like the Lord said, do your own thing. So I created Jump. Out came Jump, joyful, uplifting movements of praise. So for 2-3 years after I got laid off, I was doing my dance fitness class, which I created around the city of Cleveland. One day I met with some friends at the Urban League here in Cleveland, and they found out what I was doing. And they said, well, we know somebody that needs to rent out space that they have. And so I came over, met the gentleman that originally had 1,000 Pounds Lighter, started renting space for him. A few months later, he was ready to get out the business. Well, in addition to the dance fitness classes, I had started teaching the circuit training, which we specialize here at 1,000 Pounds Lighter, which is just interval stations, hit, high intensity movements around like that, which is good for a full body workout in a short period of time. So as he was transitioning, he wanted to do a different career. I said, I'll take it. I was scared to death, but I just knew that I didn't want to stop my journey. And this is where I was supposed to be, in the neighborhood in which I grew up in, came up around, and I know that needed the help. I wanted to be somewhere that needed it. So I took over, purchased the business, and I merged the two. So we got Jump, 1,000 Pounds Lighter Fitness right here in the Union Miles neighborhood, and been going strong for 2.5 years here.
That's so fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about what, when you were in high school thinking about what to do. So you're a high school wrestler, you're an athlete, you're very fitness conscious. What transitioned for you in your head from doing that to wanting to learn about the science and, the physiology and the theory behind it?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's a sad reason, but lack of funds. Because of lack of funding in the school, we literally had one trainer that it was a guy named Sunshine. He looked like a Ken Barbie doll, no lie. And we love Sunshine. I don't even remember his real name, but Sunshine literally was the one trainer for all of the sports. And it was to the point where we had to learn how to tape ourselves, how to kind of rehab ourselves, because eventually he was gone. So I would go to other schools, like during tournaments and stuff, and I would say, hey, can you show me how to do that? Can you help me do that? Teach me. So that at a period of time, everybody came to me to get taped. And so I said, this is a good career. I can go into that. So I started off as like an athletic trainer when I went to college. And then as I was learning more about athletic training, which we didn't have the best program at my college, it transferred over to the physiology part of, okay, learning why to work out or how to work out, the best ways to work out, who needs to work out in what way. So it just stemmed from that. And it actually grew even more because I just got a master's degree from Akron in exercise physiology. So now if you're a cardiac patient, you know, like I said in my intro, everybody could benefit from it. So it went from a need to now an understanding that everybody, whatever your condition is, can benefit from that. And I just really wanted to be the best at it. I didn't want to, you know, throw myself at someone to help them, and I didn't know how to properly help them. That's what I'm trying to say. I just always wanted to properly be able to give the best instruction, care to someone. And so that's why I wanted to further my education in it.
Okay. And you're also a business owner. And I think that you're one of the few people that I've talked to that actually that owns her own business. I wonder if you could tell me, you know, when we think about STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, they're careers, but they're also a core set of skills. How do you use those skills in your day-to-day operations?
I am a one-woman show. So I use more than anything the technology part of it, because we are in a technological worlds with social media and websites and all that good stuff. So I literally had to train myself, and thankfully we get a lot of free apps and stuff like that. So just train myself in order to push my business forward with the marketing, with advertising. When COVID shut down everything, I had to learn. We took a month off. I took a month off, but then I transitioned to online. So being able to reach that online audience, be able to grow, like literally went from nobody to fully flourish the business with an online presence. How do I make it a place where they can get the information quickly? Just recently, I launched the app. So I had to learn how to build a website, learn how to launch this app, learn how to code and put these things in. So I'm using STEM every day just to communicate, just to have members in different states and different cities take my class in my direction. And then with the math and stuff like that, you know, I need to learn about figures and what I'm bringing in as far as revenue and what's going out to what. So all of that I learned literally just from day to day of taking over this business. So I'm using STEM all the time. And then I can even say like the mechanics of working out in general. It's not just a lift. It's not just a squat. I was teaching someone a proper push-up today. Some people don't like it because I overly coach, but because of my background, I need to make sure you're not injured. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. So for instance, a proper push-up, you need to make sure that you're stacking your arms a certain way, your shoulders a certain way, you know, the mechanics of a proper squat. That way you don't cause injury. So I'm using STEM literally daily in my functioning of my business.
Incredible. Yeah. So I'd like to transition for a little bit. Could you tell me, let's take it back before you were in high school. Let's take it back to when you were, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. What were you interested in, and how did you approach exploring the things that you might want to get more involved in later on, and sort of start, planting the seeds or cultivating the seeds of the career path that you ended up choosing?
It's always been sports with me. When I was that young, I was Jenny Gymnast, right? Like, I don't know if anybody watching this remember Jenny Gymnast, but from watching the 1996 Olympics, Dominique Dawes, Dominique Moceanu, all of those girls. So Miss Kimberly Mack had the Mack Cats here in Warrensville Heights, a tumbling group. So I joined the Mack Cats, and that was my first introduction into literally what I'm doing now, being in gymnastics. And then, so at a young age, I knew I wanted to participate. I wanted to go to the Olympics. I wanted to, travel and have the guts and the glory of all of that. And so it's always carried along. So from gymnastics was cheerleading to track to volleyball. So I've always had that mindset of athletic sport, health, taking care of your body that was going to launch me in a certain direction.
Mm-hmm. Can you think of any obstacles that you had to overcome, challenges that you had to face along the way to get to where you are now?
Man, yeah. It's always going to be obstacles. The first one I will say is getting out of my own head. We are our own toughest critics. And a lot of times it's just jumping off the cliff and just doing it. And so a lot of times I'll say God spoke through me because I was scared to death to say, I'll take your business. I don't know how to run a business. I'm still free falling, right? But getting out of my own head, doubting, that self-doubt is like detrimental to anything that you may try to do. So first, getting out of my own head, even with stepping into wrestling, like I said before, I was the only girl on the team. So I got ridiculed, talked about, all types of things, but I pushed through because I felt like it was what I needed to be doing. I think we all have thoughts and ideas of what we want to do, what we like to do. And it's so strong that you're like, no, I have to do this. But a lot of times, again, self-doubt and the outside noise, family, friends, situations, communities will make you feel like you can't. But when it's something you think about, you dream about, something you would do for free, you have to move forward and just see what happens. So that was my first obstacle, getting out of my own head. My second obstacle, being a single mom. I have a 7-year-old son, and I have to make sure that his livelihood is, taken care of. I have to make sure that he has his needs. I thank the Lord for my village. My friends and my family stepped in and allowed me to still chase my dreams. And that was taking care of my son. I call him the manager of the gym because he's here, he's checking people in, he's vacuuming the floor, he's moving the weights, because I knew that even though I have to take care of him, I couldn't let my dream die. So we're like doing it together. Graduating from grad school, to make the decision after 9 years to go back to further my career. Because like I said, I wanted to make sure that I'm at a certain level of knowledge when taking care of people, when taking care of anything. So I made the decision to go back to grad school after being laid off, after all of these things are happening. But I'm like, I got to push through. I'm going to commute and drive to Akron every week for 2.5 years because I got to do it. And then the last one that's just recently happening, my mother passed. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, August of 2020. And she stayed moving. My motto is stay moving, stay motivated. I'm telling you, she stayed moving, stay motivated the whole year. She motivated us. She was in here working out with me after chemo. Day after chemo, she'll be in the gym working out. And that's why I know to get up, to exercise, to move is beneficial. You can't just lay there and let things happen to you. My mother died in August 17th of 2021. But a month before, we were working in the garden together. She was driving herself, and she had a terminal illness. So picking up the pieces of taking care of my mother, running a business, being a mom, very challenging. But I know this is my purpose because things were just continuing to unfold for me in the midst of. And so I think if you just continue to keep your eyes on the goal, on the prize, take the breaks, take the things when you need to, you can accomplish. So those were some of the challenges that I've gone through, but I really believe it's what builds you up. It's what builds you up, and it allow you to see what you can do and push forward to accomplish things.
In hearing you talk about your mom and hearing you talk about your son and talk about your church, it sounds like having that sort of community support structure is important.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I always tell people this gym is not just a gym. It's not just, these members come and work out. No, I know all their names. I know something about them. I've been to their weddings. I know their children. We talk, we laugh. They came to my mother's funeral. They supported my graduation. they turned into a family, and we're all on this journey together. And that's what I love about being in the location that I am, because it is about community. You know, the development of this community, who I lease from, they personally come and talk to me. They send me emails. They help me out. You know, a lot of things has happened, and I feel 100% supported in everything I do. I mean, people just walk by and drive by and, oh, we were looking in, we made sure you were okay. You know, they check on me if I'm here too late. And so it is a community feel. And I believe that as we're stronger in numbers, and that we can continue to help each other, because I may have something you don't, you may have something I don't, but then together we have it all.
So the audience for these conversations is, it's K through 12.
Okay.
But if you're thinking about, again, taking you back to 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old Sherolynn, what advice would you have for kids today that are just now sort of starting to think about things that they're interested in, things that they're passionate about, and kids that have already figured out some of that stuff and are now figuring out what to do with it? What would you tell kids? Try
everything. Try it. If you don't like it, complete it, and then try something else. Don't limit yourself. You know, maybe you thought you wanted to do it, just see. I'm blessed that I had parents that every time I brought something to them, they was just like, okay. They say, are you sure that's what you want to do? Yep. Okay, let's go. Because you don't know unless you experience. And it's okay if it's not what you thought it was going to be and you wanted to transition to something else. Allow yourself to have experiences. And then don't allow people to my mother always say, don't put me in the box. So don't allow people to stunt your growth, to make you feel like you can't do something because you're a girl. I wrestled for 10 years. I wrestled internationally. I wrestled boys. I was better than all the boys on my team. I just want y'all to know that, okay? And believe in yourself. And if you feel like it's right, you know, who is to tell you that you're wrong? You know, who is to tell you can't be an engineer? Who's to tell you can't be the next president? Like, seriously, you have to have a little bit of selfish belief where you tune out the world and just try. Just simply try.